Hello, and welcome back to our next reading segment of the Asatru Edda. Asgard here, and in chapter 9, we are talking about Ymir, the father of all of the Jotnar. And in this story, we also talk about the creation of Midgard. Ymir killed Adhumbla in his thirst and hunger for the nourishing juices and food her body, filled with fertile saps, could provide. Because of this, the Sons of Burr killed the Jotun with blood surging from his wounded neck. When he fell, so much blood gushed from his wounds that with it they drowned all the race of Himthusar except for one, Bergelmir, who would later suffer the same weird as Ymir. Adhumbla now rests within the Nidalfjord until the day of Ragnarok, when she shall issue forth. The Himthusar were not completely destroyed, for their souls survived in their land of birth, Niflheimr, which would become their haunt. There they built themselves a hall, and during the course of time became dangerous neighbors to Mimir's realm. To the race of Himthusar belong the spirits of disease, who also reside in Niflheimr. Among them are Tramr, Morn, Topi, Opi, Trosul, and Oltholi. The realm they established in Niflheimr is one of the two Jotunheimr. The other would be built in the furthest north of Midgardr. Bur's sons, Odin, Honir, and Lodir, took Ymir and moved him to the middle of Ginnungagap and made from him the world. With the blood that gushed freely from the wounds, they made the lakes and the sea. The earth was fashioned from the flesh, and mountain cliffs from the bones. Because of this, he is called Lirbriner and Argarmir. They made stones and gravel from the teeth, the molars, and those stones that were broken. Trees and plants were made from his hair. By fashioning that sea around, they belted and fastened the earth. Most men would think it impossible to cross over this water. The limbs of Ymir were laid on the Grota mill and ground up. The kind of meal thus produced the soil and sand which the sea has cast upon the shores of Midgardr since the earliest dawn of time, and with which the bays and strands have been filled to eventually become green fields. From Ymir's flesh were the oldest stores of soil derived, those which covered Midgardr's stone grounds when Odin and his brothers raised them from Ymir's blood. The soil was fertile because it was saturated with Adhumla's milk and flesh, and thus would Midgardr be covered with vegetation. After Ymir's flesh was transformed into soil, this was done to Thruthgelmir, and after him to Bergemir's flesh. Countless ages before the earth was formed was Bergelmir born, after his father was laid on the mill. Bergemir's limbs are ground by the mill in our present age. The earth is circular around the edge, and surrounding it lays the deep sea. On these coasts in the northeast, the sons of Burr gave land to the Ettar of the Jotnar to live on, which would also be known as Jotunheim. The drowned Himthusar had not all the same deformities. They had reduced with every generation. Among Bergemir's children and the grandchildren is there to be found such beings who were well formed and less savage than their strange headed fathers. Odin himself showed compassion to these younger Jotnar and let them save themselves from the waves of Ymir's blood upon the shores of this Jotunheimer, which they and their descendants thereafter settled. Further inland, Odin and his brothers built a fortress wall around the world to protect against the hostility of the Jotnar. As material for this wall, they used the eyebrows of the Jotnar Ymir and called this stronghold Midgardr. Thank you for joining us on this next segment reading. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Please help to support the channel, hit that thumbs up, and make sure you subscribe to see all of our new content. Until then, we'll see you on the next segment.